The hot desert wind blew across the dry land. Sand covered everything, old rocks, broken metal, and long-lost secrets. Far away from the city, a young man named Tom walked slowly, his boots sinking into the soft sand. He had a backpack, a water bottle, and an old metal detector. He was a scavenger, searching for lost things buried in the desert. Tom was 22 years old. He lived in a small desert village and made money by finding old machines, wires, or metal parts to sell. Most days he found nothing useful, but today felt different. As he walked near a group of large rocks, his detector began to beep. Beep, 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 beep. The sound grew faster. Tom stopped. His heart beat faster. He pulled out his small shovel and started digging. The sand was heavy and the sun was hot, but Tom kept digging. After an hour, something shiny appeared. It was not a normal piece of metal. It looked like part of a smooth wall, dark gray with glowing blue lines. It was not rusty, not broken. It looked alive. "What is this?" Tom whispered. He touched the surface. It was warm. Suddenly, the glowing lines became brighter. A deep voice spoke from nowhere. "Welcome back, Admiral." Tom jumped back, his eyes wide. "What? Who said that?" The sand began to shake. A low humming noise came from beneath the ground. Slowly, the metal wall rose from the sand. It was not a wall. It was a door. Tom stared, too shocked to move. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside, a dark hallway lit up with soft white lights. The air smelled strange, old, like dust and machines. The voice spoke again. "Systems. Online. Admiral Lewis, your return is 300 years overdue. Please proceed to the command bridge." Tom took a step back. "I'm not Admiral Lewis. You've got the wrong person." But the door stayed open. The lights inside waited. Something in his heart pulled him forward. He looked around. No one was near. No one would believe him if he told this story. So, slowly, he stepped inside. The hallway was quiet. The floor was smooth and clean. The walls had screens, buttons, and blinking lights. Everything looked like it was waiting for someone to return. The voice guided him. "Follow the light path to the bridge." Small lights on the floor lit up, showing the way. Tom followed them. His hand brushed the wall as he walked. The ship seemed to know him. But how? He entered a large room with a big window. It was the bridge, the control center of the ship. In front of the window was a command chair. It turned toward him as he stepped in. Screens lit up. A round floating ball appeared in the air. It was glowing softly. A calm voice came from it. "Greetings, Admiral. I am Core, the ship's AI. This vessel, the Starfire, has been in emergency sleep mode since the year 2183. You have been marked missing in action for 300 years. Tom shook his head. "I'm not the Admiral. I'm Tom. I live in the desert. I've never been here before." Core paused, then spoke again. "Genetic scan complete. You are a 99.98% match to Admiral Lewis. Facial scan matches. Voice pattern. Similar. You are either the Admiral or his exact copy." Tom sat in the command chair, still trying to understand. "Why would I be a copy of some Admiral from 300 years ago?" Core answered, "That information is classified. But I can show you memories of the Admiral. Please look at the screen." The screen in front of him showed a man. He looked just like Tom. Same eyes, same hair, same face. He wore a black uniform with silver stars on his chest. Behind him were stars, planets, and battleships. This is me?" Tom asked quietly. The screen changed again. It showed a giant space battle. Ships exploded. Lights flashed. The Admiral gave orders with a strong voice. People listened. People trusted him. Core said, "The Starfire crashed on this planet after the final battle. The ship was hidden under sand to protect it. You have now reawakened it. Tom stood up. Why me? I don't know anything about spaceships or wars. You may not remember, Kor replied, but you carry the key. Your DNA allows access to this ship, its systems, and its secrets. Tom felt a strange feeling in his chest, a mix of fear and excitement. Could this really be happening? Then, Kor spoke again. Warning! Multiple life signs detected approaching from the east. Scanning. 5 humans. Possible scavengers or raiders. Tom's eyes went wide. Raiders? Out here? Yes, Kor said. They may have followed your trail. I advise sealing the entrance and hiding the ship's signature. Tom nodded. Do it. I don't want trouble. The ship's systems began to hum. The entrance door closed. Outside, the sand shifted to cover the metal again. Inside, the lights dimmed. Tom sat back in the chair. The ship accepted him. It protected him. It called him Admiral. He didn't know what to believe. Was he really this Admiral Lewis, or just a boy who looked like him? But one thing was clear, this ship was not an ordinary machine. It held secrets, secrets that had slept for 300 years, and now they were waking up again. Tom sat in the command chair, looking around the control room of the strange ship. The soft lights above flickered, and the screens around him showed images of stars, battles, and a man who looked just like him. The ship's voice, Kor, stayed silent for now, as if giving Tom space to think. He leaned forward. Kor? Who was Admiral Lewis, really? Kor replied in a calm tone. Admiral James Lewis was the final commander of Starfire during the human-alien conflict. He led the last mission to protect Earth's colonies. When Starfire was damaged, he made the choice to crash-land it here to protect the ship's core systems. His body was never found. Tom stared at the floor. And you think I'm him? You are not exactly him, Tom, Kor answered. But you may be his copy. You share his DNA and appearance. The Starfire is programmed to recognize him, or someone like him, as its only commander. Tom took a deep breath. He had always lived a simple life, trading scrap and trying to survive in the desert. Now a spaceship was calling him an admiral. It felt too big, too strange. But something inside him whispered, maybe this is who you were meant to be. Suddenly, the ship's lights turned red. A loud beep echoed through the room. Warning, Kor said. Unidentified life forms have entered the crash zone. 5 individuals, armed, possible threat. Tom stood up. Raiders? Yes, Kor replied. They appear to be part of a local group called the Dune Pact. Their leaders have been searching for this ship for over 20 years. Tom clenched his fists. Can we hide? Stealth mode is already active, Kor said. But the outer hull is still partly exposed. If they search long enough, they may find the entrance. Tom hurried down the hallway, guided by floor lights. He reached a viewing deck where a screen showed the outside desert. Through the sandstorm, he saw 5 figures in brown clothing with masks, moving carefully across the sand. One of them had a metal scanner. They know something's here, Tom muttered. Do you wish to engage defensive systems? Kor asked. Tom paused. He didn't want to hurt anyone, but he also couldn't let them take the ship. Just scare them, he said. Make them run. Outside, the sand near the raiders suddenly shook. A hidden turret rose from the ground and fired a loud warning shot into the air. The noise was like thunder. The raiders jumped back. One of them shouted something and pointed toward the sand. Another grabbed his arm and pulled him away. Then, more small machines flew out of the ship's hull, round drones, blinking with red lights. They hovered near the raiders, buzzing like angry insects. The raiders panicked and ran, dropping their scanner behind. Threat neutralized, Kor said calmly. They are retreating. Tom sighed with relief. Good. I don't want trouble. He picked up the raiders' dropped scanner from outside the airlock. It was broken, but it had strange alien symbols on it. "This doesn't look like something from Earth," he said. "Correct," Kor replied. "That scanner is hybrid technology, part human, part alien. The Dune Pact has likely traded with off-world forces." Tom looked surprised. "Aliens? You mean they're still out there?" "Yes," Kor answered. "After Earth's collapse, many colonies fell to alien control. Only a few human settlements remain free. The Starfire holds the last seed vault, data that can help restart lost colonies. That's why this ship is valuable." Tom looked at the glowing walls around him. "So this ship, it's not just a warship?" "No," said Kor. "It's also a vault, a library, and a factory. It carries human DNA samples, science files, medical data, farming tools, and even blueprints for machines. Everything needed to rebuild lost worlds." Tom sat down again, feeling the weight of those words. "That's why they want it." "Yes," Kor said. "In the wrong hands, this ship could be used for power and control. In the right hands, it can bring back hope." Tom didn't speak for a long time. He looked at his reflection on a metal panel. He didn't feel like an admiral. He didn't even feel special. Just a desert boy who got lucky. But maybe that was enough. "Kor," he said, standing, tall. "What do I need to do to fly this ship?" "First, we must repair damaged systems," Kor answered. "The main engine is offline. Navigation controls are partly broken. You will need help." Tom nodded slowly. "I know some people in the trade town. A girl named Mila fixes old machines. And Rex, he used to be a pilot, I think. They don't ask too many questions." "Good," Kor replied. "But be careful. Now that the ship is awake, others will come." Tom walked back to the command chair. He looked at the stars on the screen. Somewhere out there were human colonies waiting. Somewhere, Earth's old enemies still watched. He didn't have all the answers yet. But the journey had begun. He placed his hand on the command panel. "All right, Starfire, let's get you flying again." The ship hummed softly, almost like it was smiling. The next morning, the desert sky was clear, and the heat returned early. Tom stood outside the ship with his backpack, ready to walk toward the trade town. The entrance to the Starfire had closed again, now hidden under sand and rocks. Only Tom and the ship's AI, Kor, knew where it was. "Kor," Tom said quietly. "Keep the ship hidden. If I don't come back in 3 days, stay offline again." "Understood," Kor replied. "But be aware. Enemy signals have increased since the defense alert yesterday." Tom nodded. "That's why I need help. I can't fix you alone." He turned and began walking. It took him half a day to reach the trade town of Dust Rock, a small place made of old metal houses and tents. Traders, mechanics, and scavengers filled the narrow streets. Tom had been here many times before, but today he had a different purpose. He went straight to a repair shop on the corner. A young woman with oily hands and a pair of smart goggles was fixing a broken power tool. "Mila," Tom said. She looked up and smiled. "Tom, what are you doing here so early? You find something again?" He nodded. "Yeah, something big." Mila laughed. "How big? A working fan? An old motor?" Tom looked around and spoke in a low voice. "No, a ship. A real one. Buried in the desert." Mila's smile faded. "You serious?" Tom nodded again. "I need your help. I can't fix it alone." She wiped her hands on a cloth. "What kind of ship are we talking about?" "A warship," he said. "Very old, but it can fly again. It just needs repairs." Mila looked at him carefully. "Where is it?" "I'll show you. But first I need someone who knows how to fly." She thought for a moment. "I know someone. Rex. He lives in the junkyard just outside town. Used to be a space pilot. Flew cargo ships before the colonies fell." "Can we trust him?" Tom asked. "He doesn't trust anyone," Mila replied. "But if you give him a real job, he might listen." They left together and walked through the town toward the junkyard. Old ship parts, rusted metal, and broken machines were scattered everywhere. A tall man with a gray beard sat on a chair near a broken shuttle, smoking a pipe. "That's Rex," Mila said. Tom walked up to him. "Excuse me, are you Rex?" The man didn't look up. "Who wants to know?" "I'm Tom. I found a working ship. I need a pilot." Now Rex looked up. His eyes were sharp and suspicious. "You're just a desert kid with a dream. Tom didn't smile." "Come see for yourself." Rex stood slowly. "If this is a joke, I'll send you running back to your mother." "No joke," Tom said. Mila added, "It's real, Rex, and it's important." Rex thought for a long moment, then picked up his small bag. "Fine. Show me." The three of them walked back into the desert, taking a long route to avoid being seen. By the time they reached the Starfire's hidden location, the sun was low in the sky. Tom placed his hand on a small stone, and the entrance door opened silently. Mila and Rex stared in shock as lights came on and the metal hallway appeared. "From beneath the sand, by the stars," Rex whispered. "This is no junk. This is a warship from the old days." Mila followed Tom inside, her eyes wide as she looked at the glowing walls and blinking control panels. "Who built this?" she asked. "It's called the Starfire," Tom said. "It belonged to Admiral Lewis, and the ship thinks I'm him." Rex raised an eyebrow. "You don't look like an admiral." "I don't feel like one either," Tom said. "But I need to fix this ship, and I need both of you to help me." Mila touched a console. "The tech is ancient, but still alive." "This ship is amazing." Rex stepped into the command room. "The design... I've only seen this in old space logs. This ship could travel to the edge of the galaxy." Tom looked at both of them. "Will you help me?" Rex crossed his arms. "Depends. Why do you want this ship flying again?" Tom told them everything. The AI, the seed vault, the raiders, the hidden data that could restore lost human colonies. He explained how Starfire had crashed 300 years ago and how Kor believed the time to rise again had come. Mila sat down slowly. "This ship could restart everything, heal what was lost." "Exactly," Tom said. "But we have to be careful. Others want it too." Rex sighed. "All right, I'll help. But if things get bad, I'm flying us out." Tom nodded. "Deal." Kor's voice echoed softly in the room. "Welcome, new crew members. Access granted. Repair data is now available. Please begin diagnostics." Mila smiled. "Let's get to work." Over the next 2 days, they worked non-stop. Mila repaired power conduits and restored the cooling system. Rex tested old flight controls and calibrated the engines. Tom helped wherever he could, learning slowly. But while they worked far away, in space, someone was watching. A tall alien figure stood on the bridge of a dark ship, staring at a screen. The face was covered by a mask, and the name on the screen read, "Chiron, Bounty Unit 9, a signal pulsed from the desert world." "The Starfire is awake," Karen said in a low voice. "Prepare for departure." Deep inside the Starfire, the lights flickered softly as repairs continued. Mila was under a floor panel, reconnecting power cables. Sparks flew, and she smiled as the screen above her turned green. "That's the last one," she said, sitting up and wiping her forehead. "Great," Tom replied. "Now what's next?" Kor's calm voice answered. "Navigation systems are 70% restored. Main engine requires final tuning. Weapons and shields are inactive. All core systems functional within 48 hours. Tom looked at Rex, who stood near the pilot controls. "We're close," Tom said. "Close isn't enough," Rex replied. "A ship like this doesn't wake up quietly. Someone will come." Tom nodded. "I know. That's why we have to be ready." At that moment, the screens flashed red. "Warning, long-range sensor triggered. Kor announced. An unidentified ship has entered the system. Scanning, analysis complete. Ship class, Hunter. Owner, bounty tracker Karen. Threat level, high. Mila stood up. Who's Karen? Tom's face turned serious. I don't know, but Kor showed me his name before. He's not human. Rex walked to the screen. I've heard of him. Works for different alien groups. He finds things. People. Ancient tech. And he always finishes the job, Kor added. He was the one searching for Starfire 20 years ago. His last mission failed. He lost many units trying to uncover this ship. He will not fail again. Tom took a deep breath. How long until he reaches us? 36 hours. If he continues at current speed, Kor replied. Mila frowned. That's not enough time to fix everything. Then we do what we can, Tom said. We need to prepare the ship for flight, even a short one. We just need to get into the sky, Rex nodded, and get away from the ground where raiders can trap us. For the next 12 hours, the small team worked non-stop. Mila repaired engine coils. Tom helped reconnect fuel lines. Rex tested the steering controls over and over. Kor guided them, step by step. But inside Tom's mind, something strange was happening. While working near the Admiral's old room, he found a black device, a memory scanner. When he touched it, a flash of images came into his head. He saw stars, battles, faces of people he had never met, but somehow felt familiar. He saw Admiral Lewis again, giving orders, standing with other officers, making a final speech before crashing the Starfire. Tom pulled his hand away, shaking. His heart beat fast. Mila came over. You okay? I saw something, Tom said. Memories. I think the ship is unlocking them. You think you're really him? Mila asked, gently. I don't know, Tom said. Maybe not fully, but something inside me remembers, things I never lived. Mila touched his shoulder. Whatever you are, Tom, you're leading this ship now. That's what matters. Tom gave her a small smile. Thanks. Just then, Kor's voice echoed again. Alert. Karen's ship is adjusting speed. New estimate, arrival in 20 hours. He is accelerating, Rex muttered. He must have found our signal. Mila stood. We need to launch before he gets here. Tom looked around. Kor, can we launch this ship now? Basic launch possible, Kor said. But it will be difficult. Engine control is unstable. External hull is still damaged. Risk of system failure is high. Tom clenched his fists. It's better than waiting here for Karen to land, Rex agreed. If we can take off and hide in orbit, we buy time. We can fix more up there. Tom nodded. Let's do it. We launch at sunrise. That night, they slept in turns. Starfire stayed quiet, the lights low, as if saving energy. Outside, the desert wind howled, but the ship remained hidden under rock and sand. In the early hours of the morning, the team stood together in the command room. Tom looked at Mila and Rex. You still with me? He asked. Rex smirked. Let's make some history. Mila gave a thumbs up. Let's fly. Tom turned to the control panel. Kor, begin launch sequence. Launch sequence started, Kor said. All crew secure positions. Prepare for sand displacement and vertical. Lift off. The ground shook. The sand and rocks above the ship began to slide away. A hidden panel opened in the desert floor, revealing the full body of the Starfire, tall, wide, and powerful, even with damage. The engines began to glow. Dust blew in all directions. In the town of Dust Rock, people looked toward the desert as a deep rumble echoed across the land. They saw a shadow rise from the sand, huge and bright like the sun. Many had only heard of ships like this in stories. Now they watched one rise into the sky. Inside, Mila gripped her seat. Rex held the steering handles. Tom stood, looking ahead. "Engine's stable," Rex said. "She's holding together." "Navigation system's responding," Mila added. "We're flying!" Tom looked out the window as they passed through clouds. "We did it!" Then Kor interrupted. "New alert! Karen's ship has entered lower orbit. He is tracking us." Tom's face turned serious again. "Get us out of range. Plot a course to the outer ridge, somewhere he won't expect." Rex turned the ship sharply. "He's following fast. But this ship's still got speed." Mila checked the screens. "Shield's still offline. If he fires, we can't block it." Tom nodded. "Then we have to move smart. Outfly him." The race had begun. A battle was near. But now, for the first time in 300 years, the Starfire was awake. And a new crew sat in its command room. The galaxy was watching again. The Starfire flew through the thin clouds of the desert sky. Its engines glowed bright orange as it crossed into higher airspace. Inside the ship, everything was shaking, but the systems were holding strong. Mila sat at the engineering station, checking power levels. Rex controlled the flight path with steady hands. Tom stood in the middle of the command room, his eyes fixed on the main screen. On the radar, a second red dot appeared. Karen's ship. It was getting closer. Kor spoke calmly. "Enemy vessel closing in. Estimated time before contact, 11 minutes. Tom leaned forward. "Do we have any weapons working yet?" "Only one front laser is online," Kor replied. "Shields are still under repair. Use of weapons may draw power from the engines." Rex frowned. "If we slow down now, he'll catch us. Fast." Tom thought hard. "Then we don't fight. Yet. We run." He turned to Mila. "Any place nearby where we can hide?" Mila looked at the map screen. "There's an old mining belt behind the ridge of stones, full of broken rock and metal. Signal interference is strong there." Tom nodded. "Set a course. Let's lose him in the belt." Rex adjusted the ship's path. "Hang on. This will be rough." The Starfire turned sharply toward the north, heading for a place where scanners wouldn't work well. Behind them, Karen's black ship followed closely. It was sleek, sharp, and silent, like a blade cutting through the sky. Inside Karen's ship, the masked figure stared at the screen. A red glow flashed in his eyes. "Target is running," he said softly. "Good. It means they are afraid." Back in the Starfire, the crew felt the tension growing. The ship shook as it entered the ridge of stones, giant floating rocks and broken. Satellite parts drifted slowly through the space. It was like a field of ghosts. "We're inside," Rex said. "Now we hope he loses our signal." Tom stood by Kor's control panel. "Switch to silent mode. No signals. No noise." "Silent mode activated," Kor replied. "Reducing power output. Engines at 40%. Hiding complete." The Starfire drifted slowly between rocks, almost like it was asleep. Outside, the only sound was silence. Everyone sat still, listening. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Mila whispered, "I think we lost him." Tom was about to answer when Kor spoke again. "Warning! Enemy vessel has entered the ridge. He is using visual tracking." On the screen, Karen's ship appeared between two rocks, scanning the area slowly. A bright light swept across the dark stones. "He's searching by eye," Rex said. "Smart." Tom's mind raced. "Can we distract him?" Mila had an idea. "I can release one of the old fuel tanks. If he follows it, he might think we're hiding inside." Tom nodded. "Do it." Mila pressed a button. A small tank shot out from the Starfire's belly and floated toward the far edge of the ridge. It moved slowly, just enough to look like a drifting ship. Karen's scanner light moved toward it. A second later, his ship turned and chased after the tank. "He took the bait," Rex said with a grin. Tom smiled, but only for a moment. "That buys us a little time." Mila leaned back. "We need to fix the shields. Without them, one hit, and we're finished." Tom looked serious. How long? Half a day, she replied. If I push hard? Tom nodded. Then we stay. Here, hidden, and get to work. The crew moved quickly. Mila went back to the lower deck, repairing shield wires and testing circuits. Rex checked the engine systems again, making sure they didn't overheat. Tom helped both, carrying parts, holding tools and learning everything he could. Meanwhile, Core showed Tom more files. He saw old maps of human colonies, now silent. He watched old recordings of Admiral Lewis giving speeches about hope, unity, and survival. One message stood out. The Admiral looked tired, but determined. If this message is found, it means I failed to return. But the Starfire carries the future of our kind. Whoever hears this, protect it. Rebuild. Don't let humanity fade. Tom turned to Core. Why did he crash here? Why not keep flying? Core replied. The Admiral was wounded. The ship was damaged. He knew others would come. He believed someone would return one day to finish his mission. Tom looked down. And now it's me. Yes, Core said. And you are not alone. Tom smiled slightly. No, I have a crew now. After hours of work, Mila returned to the command room. Shields ready, she said. Not full strength, but they'll hold. Tom looked at the screen. Is Karen still out there? Core answered. He has not left the ridge. He is circling the outer edge, still searching. Rex stood. It's time we moved. Sitting here makes us weak. Tom agreed. Let's fly to Nova Reach. Mila raised her eyebrows. Nova Reach? That colony is far from here. Tom nodded. Yes, but it's one of the few places where humans still hold power. If we reach it, we can protect the ship, share the seed, vault and find allies. Rex whistled. It's a long jump, Core interrupted. Starfire contains a hidden jump drive, used only in emergency. It can reach Nova Reach in one jump, but it needs strong energy and full crew access. Tom turned to the others. Do you trust me? Mila smiled. I didn't follow you this far to quit now. Rex laughed. Let's punch through the stars. Tom placed his hand on the main console. Core, prepare jump drive. Jump drive charging, Core replied. Please hold ship steady during countdown. The lights dimmed. The engines roared low. Outside, the space around the Starfire seemed to shimmer. Far away, Karen's ship picked up the energy spike. He turned sharply. They're trying to jump, he said. I must stop them. His ship raced toward the Starfire, weapons ready. Inside, Core spoke. Jump in, 10, 9, 8. Tom stared at the screen. Come on, just a few more seconds. 7, 6, 5. Karen's ship fired a single shot. 4, 3, 2. The blast hit the Starfire's side. Alarms rang. Jump engaged. In a flash of blue light, the Starfire disappeared. The blue light faded, and the Starfire reappeared in open space. The stars looked different. A large planet with glowing rings slowly turned in the distance. They had made it. Core spoke calmly. Jump complete. Arrival confirmed. Nova Reach is within range. Tom stood up slowly. Did we take damage? Minor damage to outer hull. Shields held. No crew injuries, Core answered. Mila let out a long breath. That was close. Rex leaned back in his seat. Too close. I thought we were gone for sure. Tom smiled. But we're not. We made it. They looked at the screen. Ahead of them, a space station floated in orbit around a smaller moon. It had blinking lights, cargo docks, and defense towers. Ships flew in and out. The name on the station's side read, Nova Reach Command. Core continued, sending signal request to Nova Reach, awaiting reply. Tom crossed his arms. Let's hope they remember who we are. A few moments later, the screen lit up. A woman in a navy blue uniform appeared. She had sharp eyes and short black hair. Behind her, people worked at control panels. This is Commander Lin of Nova Reach. Identify your vessel. Tom stepped forward. This is the Starfire, flagship of Admiral Lewis. Lin looked shocked. That ship was lost 300 years ago. Tom nodded. It was buried. I found it. I'm not Admiral Lewis, but I carry his code, his DNA. The ship accepted me as commander. Commander Lin paused. Then she said, "Wait for docking instructions." The screen went dark. Mila looked at Tom. "You think she believes you?" Tom replied, "She wants to, but she needs proof." A minute later, Core spoke. Docking path received. Heading locked. Auto navigation ready. Rex said, "All right, let's land this bird." The Starfire slowly moved toward the space station. As it got closer, people inside Nova Reach stared at the large ship. Some took pictures, some saluted, some simply watched with wide eyes. When the ship landed, the docking bridge connected with a loud click. Tom stood at the exit, wearing a simple dark jacket. Mila and Rex stood beside him. The doors opened slowly. A group of soldiers waited outside. In front of them was Commander Lin. She stepped forward. "I need to see the Admiral's seal." Tom handed her a small metal disc. It had a glowing star and a set of old Earth numbers. Lin scanned it. The scanner beeped. "Confirmed," she said quietly. "This is real." Tom nodded. "We're not here to take over. We're here to help." Lin looked at him. "We've been fighting to survive. Resources are low. Colonies nearby have fallen. We thought Earth was lost forever." Tom replied, "The Starfire carries a seed vault. It has everything: technology, medicine, DNA records, farming plans. The Admiral saved it all." Commander Lin looked surprised. "Then you carry the future." Tom didn't speak for a moment. Then he said, "We need to share it, protect it, and rebuild. But enemies are coming. We need your help." Lin turned to her officers. "Take them to Command Hall. They are guests." The crew was guided through bright halls into a large meeting room. A round table sat in the center. Screens on the wall showed star maps, colony statuses, and defense reports. Lin sat across from them. "Tell me everything," Tom told her about finding the ship in the desert, about Core, about the attack by Charon, about the jump, and about the mission Admiral Lewis had started. When he finished, Lin sat quietly. "You've done well," she said. "You brought back more than a ship. You brought back hope." Mila smiled. "We did it together," Rex added, "and barely stayed alive." Lin stood. "We want to help. We have engineers, scientists, and pilots. If we connect with Starfire, we can start rebuilding what was lost." Tom nodded. "That's what the Admiral would have wanted." Just then, Core's voice came through a wall speaker. "Alert. Long-range scan has detected incoming ship. Shape matches Karen's vessel. Estimated time to arrival, 12 hours. Everyone stood up. "He followed us," Rex said. Mila looked at Lin. "Can your station defend itself?" Lin replied, "We have weapons, but not enough to fight him alone." Tom looked at her firmly. "Then we fight together." They spent the next hours preparing. Nova Reach engineers came aboard the Starfire. They repaired the hull and helped finish the shield system. Mila worked with their tech team to install new scanners. Rex trained pilots on the ship's controls. Tom met with defense leaders, sharing Core's files and plans. Commander Lin gave orders for every fighter ship to be ready. By the time the sun rose on Nova Reach's moon, they were ready. Core spoke again. "Enemy vessel entering local space." On the screen, Karen's black ship appeared. It hovered. In the distance, just outside the weapon range, Tom stood at the command table. "Open channel." The screen blinked, and Karen appeared. His mask covered most of his face, but his cold eyes were clear. "You ran," Karen said. "I survived," Tom answered. Karen looked around. "You brought back help, but it won't save you." Tom replied. This ship was never yours. You can't have it. Karen's voice lowered. You carry the past, but I am the future. Tom stared at him. No, the future is everyone. Not just the ones who take, but those who protect. The screen went dark. Commander Lin turned to Tom. What now? Tom gave a calm nod. Now we show him what the Starfire can do. The blue light faded and the Starfire reappeared in open space. The stars looked different. A large planet with glowing rings slowly turned in the distance. They had made it. Kor spoke calmly. Jump complete. Arrival confirmed. Nova Reach is within range. Tom stood up slowly. Did we take damage? Minor damage to outer hull. Shields held. No crew injuries, Kor answered. Mila let out a long breath. That was close. Rex leaned back in his seat. Too close. I thought we were gone for sure. Tom smiled. But we're not. We made it. They looked at the screen. Ahead of them, a space station floated in orbit around a smaller moon. It had blinking lights, cargo docks, and defense towers. Ships flew in and out. The name on the station's side read, Nova Reach Command. Kor continued, sending signal request to Nova Reach, awaiting reply. Tom crossed his arms. Let's hope they remember who we are. A few moments later, the screen lit up. A woman in a navy blue uniform appeared. She had sharp eyes and short black hair. Behind her, people worked at control panels. This is Commander Lin of Nova Reach. Identify your vessel. Tom stepped forward. This is the Starfire, flagship of Admiral Lewis. Lin looked shocked. That ship was lost 300 years ago. Tom nodded. It was buried. I found it. I'm not Admiral Lewis, but I carry his code, his DNA. The ship accepted me as commander. Commander Lin paused. Then she said, Wait for docking instructions. The screen went dark. Mila looked at Tom. You think she believes you? Tom replied. She wants to, but she needs proof. A minute later, Kor spoke. Docking path received. Heading locked. Auto navigation ready. Rex said, All right, let's land this bird. The Starfire slowly moved toward the space station. As it got closer, people inside Nova Reach stared at the large ship. Some took pictures. Some saluted. Some simply watched with wide eyes. When the ship landed, the docking bridge connected with a loud click. Tom stood at the exit, wearing a simple dark jacket. Mila and Rex stood beside him. The doors opened slowly. A group of soldiers waited outside. In front of them was Commander Lin. She stepped forward. I need to see the Admiral's seal. Tom handed her a small metal disc. It had a glowing star and a set of old Earth numbers. Lin scanned it. The scanner beeped. Confirmed, she said quietly. This is real. Tom nodded. We're not here to take over. We're here to help. Lin looked at him. We've been fighting to survive. Resources are low. Colonies nearby have fallen. We thought Earth was lost forever. Tom replied. The Starfire carries a seed vault. It has everything. Technology, medicine, DNA records, farming plans. The Admiral saved it all. Commander Lin looked surprised. Then you carry the future. Tom didn't speak for a moment. Then he said, We need to share it, protect it, and rebuild. But enemies are coming. We need your help. Lin turned to her officers. Take them to Command Hall. They are guests. The crew was guided through bright halls into a large meeting room. A round table sat in the center. Screens on the wall showed star maps, colony statuses, and defense reports. Lin sat across from them. Tell me everything. Tom told her about finding the ship in the desert, about Kor, about the attack by Karen, about the jump, and about the mission Admiral Lewis had started. When he finished, Lin sat quietly. You've done well, she said. You brought back more than a ship. You brought back hope. Mila smiled. We did it together. Rex added, and barely stayed alive. Lynn stood. We want to help. We have engineers, scientists, and pilots. If we connect with Starfire, we can start rebuilding what was lost. Tom nodded. That's what the Admiral would have wanted. Just then, Kor's voice came through a wall speaker. Alert. Long-range scan has detected incoming ship. Shape matches Karen's vessel. Estimated time to arrival, 12 hours. Everyone stood up. He followed us, Rex said. Mila looked at Lynn. Can your station defend itself? Lynn replied. We have weapons, but not enough to fight him alone. Tom looked at her firmly. Then we fight together. They spent the next hours preparing. Nova Reach engineers came aboard the Starfire. They repaired the hull and helped finish the shield system. Mila worked with their tech team to install new scanners. Rex trained pilots on the ship's controls. Tom met with defense leaders, sharing Kor's files and plans. Commander Lynn gave orders for every fighter ship to be ready. By the time the sun rose on Nova Reach's moon, they were ready. Kor spoke again. Enemy vessel entering local space. On the screen, Karen's black ship appeared. It hovered, in the distance, just outside the weapon range. Tom stood at the command table. Open channel. The screen blinked, and Karen appeared. His mask covered most of his face, but his cold eyes were clear. You ran, Karen said. I survived, Tom answered. Karen looked around. You brought back help, but it won't save you, Tom replied. This ship was never yours. You can't have it. Karen's voice lowered. You carry the past, but I am the future. Tom stared at him. No, the future is everyone, not just the ones who take, but those who protect. The screen went dark. Commander Lynn turned to Tom. What now? Tom gave a calm nod. Now we show him what the Starfire can do.